Hello again, my mental snack food craving friends. This is Devin, once again bringing you another clip. Today's topic is Project Happiness. First, a little bit of background information. Project Happiness was a project that I'd created a number of years back to try and gain some insight into what the average person thought of in regards to happiness itself. Now, the idea behind it was that if I could gain some insight into what people thought of as happiness, it would open doors to understanding some other aspects about people and their personalities and whatnot. However, regardless of Project Happiness' further intentions, it's still a wonderful thing to help you understand a little bit more about yourself and to get a little bit of an idea of what you personally think of on the subject of happiness. Can't lose from that. But first, I should let you know that, unfortunately, this is a full participation video clip. If you don't want to participate, it's going to be a little bit bland and probably a little bit boring. The entertainment value comes from the participation. So please participate. Personally, if you feel up to it at the end, I would love to receive a copy of what it is that you come up with. However, that is entirely up to you. And at the end, there is information to help you determine how to get that to me if you so choose. So, let's begin. You're going to need a piece of paper and something to write with. A pen, a pencil, even a crayon, whatever you want. It doesn't matter. So go get them, and we'll wait here until you come back. And actually what we'll do is we'll even create a pause spot so that you can pause the video so that you don't have to miss a single thing. Okay, now that you have your piece of paper and something to write with, ideally you should start with the blank piece of paper sideways, pretty much kind of like what you see on the screen. And then in the center of the piece of paper you want to put an oval. Now, of course, just like what you see on the screen, you want to make sure you have lots of room because there's a lot of pieces to this and you want to make sure you have the opportunity to use it all on a single piece of paper. So, in the middle of the oval, write the word happiness. Pretty simple so far. And once that's done, what you want to do is you want to draw 5 more ovals with lines connecting just as you see on the screen now. Basically, this is a very simple word association thing. So what you want to do is you want to think of the first 5 words that quickly form in your mind that relate to happiness. Those are the words you want to put in those 5 ovals. Now, if you have to think about it for more than a second, then that's not what we're looking for. You want quick. The quicker, the better. It doesn't matter what the words are. It doesn't matter, sometimes you might end up with something more like a couple of words combined, but you want to go quick, quick, quick. That's the key element. Quick. So put whatever 5 words you want into the 5 ovals. So do that now, and we'll wait until you're done. Okay, so now that you've got your 5 words, and they pretty much look what you see now, except of course you have words, not question marks, what we're going to do is we're going to take each of those new 5 words and do the same thing we did with happiness. And so each of those ovals, we're going to make 5 more ovals connected to them, as you now see on the screen. Of course, for simplicity's sake, you don't have to draw the ovals like what you see now, but for our representation purposes, we're going to show the ovals just because it works better. But again, you don't have to. So what you want to do from this point is take each and every one of those 5 words and do the exact same thing you did with happiness. Find 5 words that relate to that new word. Now, as you do that, you do them independently. So you'd start with like the first one, whichever one you want, and then you do it totally independently. 5 words that relate to that center word. Then, of course, you move on to the next one and do the same thing, totally independently. It doesn't matter what else is there. So then, of course, when you're done that, you go to the third one. And again, if the words repeat, if they continue, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many times they're there. So then now you go to the 4th one. So the whole point is to keep them completely independent and separate from each other. Then you move to the 5th one, right? So again, doesn't matter if there's duplication. And when you're done, you'll have all 5. Then they'll be all filled in, and that's what we need next. So do that now, and we'll wait until you're done. Okay, so now that you have that all done and complete, I can tell you what the whole point of this is about. So what you see in front of you will give you a complete, basic idea of what you personally think happiness is all about. That's it. Everything you see written there is exactly what you think happiness is. Now, what you see in front of you is basically known as an associated mentality, which I'll discuss in much more detail later on, but everything you see is how your mind processes. Everything is interconnected, so that interconnection gives you an idea of happiness in this case, right? It gives you a complete overview of what you believe everything is about happiness. What you see is what it is to you. Now remember, you did it. I didn't suggest anything. I didn't do anything. That's your own personal opinion. That's why it was so important that you go quick, 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 so that you couldn't manipulate the words, and what you see is real. It's what you personally feel, or what you believe. So use that as you will. If at this point you think that you would like a more in-depth reading, if you'd like to get more information from what you've got written down, then what you can do is you can email me the results. And as you can see on the screen, you email mindmunch@shaw.ca. mindmunch@shaw.ca. And what I'll do is, best of my ability, because obviously I have time limitations like everyone else, I will try and interpret the results. Now, if the results that I get, I feel like they're faked, like you're just hand-picking words, then I'm going to junk them. I'm not going to write you back. I'm not going to say, oops, I'm just not going to write you back. However, if you also want the results published, if you want them broadcast for other people to see, then make a note of that on the email. And of course, those ones are the ones that will get precedence. So if I don't get back to you and you're not published and you said you wanted to be, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's because what you've said isn't real. It could just be that I don't have time. So just so you understand, I'm more than happy to do it, but I have to live within the realities of the real world, and time constraints are a real factor. I'll do my best. If you are going to email me, you don't have to email me the picture. What you can do is convert it to simply text-based. You can take the picture and rewrite it. Now, what I've shown on the screen is an example, right? Each of the words, the key words, are the ones that are underlined, right? So those would be the 5 words that you got from happiness itself. And then each of the 5 words you got from each of those other words you put in underneath. Again, if the same words duplicate, do not include them. Make sure every single word is there that you have on your sheet. And then once I have that, I'll use it and I'll interpret it and I'll do my best with it. Now, last thing that I want to go over is the fact that you can use this for more than just happiness. This is where I started it, but you can do more with it. The simple truth is that every single thing that you want, you can put in the center, and if you do the exact same thing, then you'll get the same kind of results with that new topic. Of course, the problem is that with the other topics, you kind of know what you're doing, so it's a little easier to fudge the data. So that's why it's important, if you're going to do it, to make sure you do it quick as humanly possible, so that you yourself don't even give yourself a chance to think of a word. It's instant, quick, fast. That way you can't even mess with yourself. So that's it. That's everything in a nutshell. Now, as I said in the beginning, I would love to get the results from everybody. If you want to send me the results, but you don't want it interpreted, just send it to me and just say, don't interpret. And I won't, right? The choice is up to you. If you want to send them, send them. If you don't, that's okay too. Like I keep saying, I'll do my best and I will try and post them. So make sure you come back and look regularly, because if people are giving me stuff to work with, I'm going to show you their results too. And hopefully from that, maybe we'll start learning a little bit more about humanity and a little bit more about what we all think of in regards to the topic of happiness. And maybe that'll open some other doors. We'll wait and see. So have fun with it. Enjoy.